Welcome back. So before we dive into the math, let's just take a brief moment to relax and calm ourselves with a short meditation. Gently close your eyes, sit up straight. And as you inhale deeply through your nose, let's take a gentle torso twist to the left. And feel your spine growing nice and tall as you're inhaling. And as you exhale slowly through your nose, see if you can twist just a little more gently. You might even put your right hand outside your left thigh. Relax your shoulders. Inhale deeply through your nose and feel your spine grow tall, right through the top of your head. And as you exhale, relax and see if you can twist just a little more. Good. Turn center. We're going to turn to the right as you inhale slowly through your nose. Anchor your left hip down as you're twisting gently. Exhale slowly through your nose. See if you can twist just a little more. Inhale slowly through your nose, feel your spine grow tall, feel your belly expand. And as you exhale very slowly, see if you can twist just a little more to the right. Don't force anything. And then turn back center. You should feel a little more relaxation. And we're ready to go. All right, so here's a multiple choice question from the College Board. It comes from section 4 of the SAT math test, which is a section that does allow calculators. So let's have a look. I'm given two inequalities, and then the question says, in the xy plane, if 0, 0 is a solution to the system of inequalities above, which of the following relationships between A and B must be true? And I'm given 4 choices. So take a moment to try this on your own. If you're not sure what to do, that's totally okay. Just do your best. And if you need to, just go ahead and make a guess. And then we'll have a look at it together. So you may have wondered, where do I even begin? And you may have seen that this is a system of inequalities, and it's tempting, right? When you have two equations or inequalities and they both have x and y in them, you may think, okay, I somehow need to manipulate these to solve for x and y, so maybe I can combine them or use substitution. Or you may have seen that there's a statement about an xy plane. So maybe I'm supposed to graph each of these inequalities and maybe look for an intersection as the solution. But let's hold off on each of those approaches. And instead, I'd like us to focus in on this clue, that 0, 0 is a solution to the system. And that means that when x is equal to 0 and when y is equal to 0, it'll make each of those statements true. So let's use that clue and look at these inequalities one by one. Let's just substitute 0 in for x and for y and see what happens to the statement. So for the first inequality, I would end up with 0 is less than negative 0 plus a. And that's the same thing as 0 is less than a, which is the same thing as saying a is greater than 0. Well, if a is greater than 0, that must mean that a is positive. Right? A is greater than 0 means that a must be a positive number. Okay, well that's a good piece of information. So let's look at the second inequality, and let's do the same thing. We're just going to substitute 0 in for x and 0 in for y. So we have 0 is greater than 0 plus b, which is the same thing as 0 is greater than b, which means that b is less than 0. So if b is less than 0, that means b is negative. And that's an important piece of information too. Well, if a is a positive number and b is a negative number, let's use that information and check out the different answer choices. So let's look at the first one. So if a is positive and b is negative, does that mean that a is greater than b? Well, yeah, it does, because all positive numbers are greater than all negative numbers. So what do you know? We found the answer. And if you wanted to be sure, you could check out the other choices. So, for example, is b greater than a? Well, b is a negative number, and negative numbers are not greater than positive numbers, so I can eliminate the second answer choice. Does that mean the absolute value of a is greater than the absolute value of b? Well, if a was something like, let's say, positive 2, and b was something like negative 5, well, the absolute value of b, which is 5, would be greater than the absolute value of a. So we can eliminate that answer choice. And then look at d. Does that mean that a is equal to the opposite of b? Well, with the two numbers we used as an example, that's not true either. So we've just confirmed that, in fact, this first choice works well. I hope that you enjoyed seeing this strategy, which is look carefully at the information that's provided, use it as a clue that will then lead to critical information that allows you to then quickly focus on what the right answer is. I hope you enjoyed seeing this strategy. If you have any questions or any suggestions or requests, please leave them as a comment below. And subscribe to this channel if you'd like to be notified of the latest videos. I enjoyed working together and look forward to seeing you again soon.